Alright guys, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, and I finally got some projects here that I had to use a flush trim bit for. So just wanted to show you the difference between something you buy like at a Home Depot, pretty much a generic piece there, and then something made in America. So let me just show you the difference in the cut quality. So with this one, I actually have to be careful because it's a little rough, and hopefully I don't hurt myself just because the piece that I'm working on is very small, but I will try to be very careful. So all we are going to do is just try to remove 3 of these and then 3 of these, okay? And then we'll do the same thing with the other brand. So here we go. And I'll try to position the camera right here so you guys can see. Alright, just for starters, as you can see, even though the bearing is riding on this, it still ended up hitting my piece right there. So you see that? It's riding the bearing, but the tolerances are so bad that this piece actually still ended up hitting my work. You see that? So I'm actually not going to use this anymore. I've used this a couple times in the past on bigger projects, like when I made my bigger keys, and you know, it did the job, but it always had that extra that you had to end up sanding later. But this is a prime example, right? So my piece is flush here, right? It shouldn't have even touched. But as you can see, it actually touches, right? So normally it's supposed to ride up here and just take off that extra, right? So let's go ahead and switch this out because, like I said, I didn't feel safe doing it, and I caught that on camera right there. So you guys be careful if you're doing smaller pieces with it's such a junky brand. And by the way, this is brand new. I mean, I might have used it once or twice. That's it. And like I said, I wasn't happy with it, so I just bought this. And I'll throw a link down below if you guys want to get this and support the channel. Alright, so once again, I basically set the bearing up to be where it's going to ride on here. And hopefully this time it's not going to, I mean, that's a little damaged right there. I'll be able to sand that out. But as you can see, when it cuts into the material, it messes your project up. If it was a little shy, you could resand it maybe. But in this case, it just damages your material. So let's try this. Do you see that? Alright guys, so as you can see, for the most part it does an amazing job. Some of the areas it's not perfect, but that's actually because my surface is a little bit rough here. So if I went ahead and sanded this, you know, the bearing could ride a smoother path and it would have been a flusher finish. But either way, I'm still going to come back and, you know, sand it so it's going to be all smooth at the end. There is some tear out, but that's because my little pieces were actually sticking out pretty far you know? So of course when the bit grabs it, it just rips it off. But I'm actually going to be chamfering all the edges, so that's not going to affect me. But in the future on the CNC, I just got to make little smaller tabs. But I mean, look at the quality, right? Some of the areas you can't even tell, you can barely tell that there was even a tab there, right? So here I know you can see it on camera, but you can't actually see it like that, right? So the reason you can see it is because this is actually a clean cut, and then the rest is just fuzzy. So you still got to sand it. And then once you sand it and it all becomes flush, it'll be invisible. So there's that mark that actually ate into my material. And then everything else, I mean, the bit speaks for itself. You guys saw it work. So yeah, like I said, a little tear up, but that's because I had a pretty big piece sticking out there. So I mean, these are maybe 10, and then these are like 15, maybe 20. I forget, it's been a while since I actually bought it. I just haven't had a chance to review it yet, but it's a world of difference and much safer. So if you guys want to purchase, this is the part number right here. Thanks for watching.